Michele Crispo of MMA 24 here, and today I'm with Bellator MMA fighter George Hardwick. George, nice to see you, and nice to have you here. How are you?
I'm very good. Just it's tier restrictions in England, so any of the pubs and clubs you'd be doing this time of year, there's none of that going on. So it's literally just training.
George, I know the first doses of the vaccine arrived in England. Will you get the vaccine?
I'm not sure. Because it's all the 80-year-olds and nurses they're going to do first, and then not even sure if people our age group will end up getting it.
George, how you started your passion for the MMA?
Well, I didn't start in MMA first. I started in Muay Thai first. I was just in. I remember being back at school and was thinking, hang on, I don't do anything. I would just spend 8 hours a day on PS2. I would get home from school and spend 8 hours on PS2 and go to bed. And I thought, probably should start doing something. Well, I like boxing, so I googled boxing in the area, but Muay Thai boxing came up first, so I started Muay Thai.
George, I know you are a BJJ purple belt, is right?
Yep.
How is important for you the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
It's like, so Jiu-Jitsu, I don't get like incredibly into the sport, the sports and the point systems of Jiu-Jitsu. For me, I'm obsessed with Jiu-Jitsu for MMA. So using it to land strikes and move it towards the finish.
George, first of all, I want to congratulate with you for your last win against our Nicolo Solli. What can you tell us about this fight?
That fight was just the fight where it was perfect preparation, no injuries, perfect weight cut. It was just perfect conditions throughout the whole fight, again, like the whole fight camp against a good opponent. And it was the first fight where normally I've been the younger guy, I fight the older guy with a few more fights, bit more combat sports experience. That was the first fight where I felt I was the guy with more fights and more experience, and using that maturity to like keep calm throughout the rounds.
George, what do you think about Nicolo Solli, and would you like to fight him again in Italy?
Any excuse for a trip to Italy. I didn't even get to see Italy. So, it was just hotel for the whole week, so I'd love to see Italy again. But yeah, he was a really good opponent. But he was just for the kill the whole time. He just wanted every punch he threw, every kick he threw. He just wanted to knock me out the whole time. Every time we were on the ground, he just wanted to choke me, leg lock me the whole time. Whereas that one was like, he was just going for that the whole time, whereas I was understanding how the rounds were going. So at the start of the second round, I knew I was up. So I knew he would come out aggressive. So I kind of hung back the first minute or two. And then when he overthrows, that's when I could get that clinch and get to the takedown. So like I said, it was more experience in that fight as well.
George, you have a record of 6 wins and only 1 defeat. What was the hardest moment of your career, and which was the best?
Well, best, obviously, 2 fights this year have been just brilliant. Like, I took the late notice fight, like a weight class and a half above in Ireland this year. Like in February, that was probably the best so far at that point. And then it was even better in Milan in September. But hardest, I had 2 fights, 2 really hard fights a year before that. I fought a guy who was an IMAF silver medalist at the Worlds. It was called Robin Roos, a Swedish guy. And that was just a really, really hard fight where it was very close, but I just managed to pull ahead in the end. And then I took a fight on late notice against, he was 6-0 at the time. He was called Midas Flaminas. That was a really hard fight. The most tired I've been in a fight, but both those fights I just learned so much from.
George, would you like to face someone in particular?
Down the line, Goiti Yamauchi. That would be good to see who has the best goatee. Winner has the best goatee. That would be a good fight. But I know he's just missed weight, like 6 pounds, something huge.
George, final question, and it is a hard question. What are the plans for the future for George Hardwick?
I struggle to see that far into the future. Like, I can't really see a year into the future. Maybe I can see tonight's training session and tomorrow's training session, but the plans are, I'm not under contract with Bellator at the minute, but I'd really want to fight in Bellator again. I can prove a lot against a lot of the lightweights, against a lot of the welterweights still. I'm quite a big lightweight. I think lightweight's the best division, but there's definitely welterweight fights which would be good as well. But yeah, that's the plan. Just keep grafting and then just get more activity as well. Because I've normally get like 1 to 2 fights a year, where I won a year with about 4 or 5 fights.
George, thanks for your time. It was a pleasure to talk with you. Do you have something to say to your fans?
Get as fat as you can over Christmas.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Grazie.